The Blitz.
That man is playing Galaga. Thought we wouldn't notice, but we did.
It's the Afternoon Blitz. Here are your hosts, Captain Cool and the Bandi Man.
Hello and welcome in, everybody. It's a fun Friday here in No Man's Land. Welcome in to the Afternoon Blitz on the Tennessee Valley Blitz Sports Radio Network. I'm your host, the Captain Cool. Oh yeah.
Oh my goodness, it's
Captain Cool.
Someone lose a grenade?
Oh yeah, baby. First things first, guys. Let's just have an applause here because you guys made it to Friday. Yet another week in the bag. Yes, thank you. We're heading on to the weekend, guys, and it should be a good one. There's a lot of fun and a lot of work to be done, so we're going to get on into it. But make sure you guys find us online at theblitzsportsradio.com, on Facebook at The Blitz Sports Radio, and on Twitter at @TheBlitz_sports. And while you're at it, heck, why not follow us on Twitch and YouTube at WZZNTV for more than just sports talk. And if you want to join in on any of the conversations today, you can, actually. 256-576-4977 is the number to call, and you guys can just talk about whatever you want under the sun, as well as, you know what, if you want to talk about how pigeons are annoying and how they might be spies, do it. I don't care. We're getting a little crazy on today's episode. It's a fun Friday, guys. It's whatever you want, all right? And this first hour is presented by the people who take care of pigeons. No, I'm just kidding. They don't take care of pigeons, but they protect your house from pigeons because that's Fleming Roofing and Restoration, the guys you need to talk to about all of your roofing needs. If you're having any roofing problems, make sure you look them up online and fill out your free quote today. Remember that Fleming always shows up, and they do a great job of doing that because you know what? It started raining last night right out of nowhere. It was like a Miami shower just came by, and it was just gone. But you know what? My house stayed dry because I had a Fleming roof atop my head, and I could just bask in the nice rain and wind that was going on outside. I feel like it rains every day. The forecast said it wasn't supposed to rain that much, but you know what? It's been raining like every single day, at least a little bit this week. It's raining outside right now. Bandi, I'll ask you in a second, okay? By the way, you're live hanging with the Chillest crew of two in sports radio in the booth. The Bandi Man, Bailey Lowry. He's not on. He's not even queued up. He wasn't ready for it. He wasn't ready. Hey, Bandi.
How's it going, Captain Cool?
It's going good. Was it raining out here whenever you got into the building?
Yeah, it was raining.
Raining hard?
Not too much,
Okay, well,
but just enough.
either way.
Might need a Fleming roof for it.
Yeah, you might need a Fleming roof for it. Of course.
I mean, it certainly doesn't hurt.
I mean, no. I feel like it's the only roof you should go for whenever it comes to rain and wind damage. I mean, it's just the perfect thing to get. And I've been telling these people forever because I mean, you know, if your roof doesn't look like it's that bad, that's totally fine, guys. But I'm just warning you because once you see a few leaks, guys, that means there's other leaks that are finna come up. So again, Fleming roof atop your head is probably the best thing, so you can go to bed. I didn't mean to rhyme that, but you know what? I got a little bit of Eminem, Lil Wayne inside of me. Also, I was listening to some new Lil Wayne and DMX on the way to work. I did not know that was a thing, but you know what? It was pretty good. I haven't listened to Lil Wayne in a while. Thanks for his older music. Well, not his older music, but like 2016, there were memes coming out nonstop of Lil Wayne, how he was rhyming the weirdest things together.
Oh yeah.
Like
one of the best lyricists of our generation.
Do you remember any of that stuff?
Any of his like most common ones?
Of recent, like of 2016, because I'm not talking about 6 foot, 7 foot, or anything like that.
Oh no, those are iconic.
Those are iconic though.
Recently,
Yeah.
I can't tell you. I do know of a time, it wasn't Lil Wayne, but when T-Pain tried to rhyme Wisconsin with mansion.
Did something just hit the roof? Something happened. I heard a noise. You said what? A mansion with Wisconsin?
Yeah.
He did that?
I'll meet you in a mansion outside of Wisconsin.
That's stretching a little
Yeah,
bit.
he tried it. He tried with it.
Huh. I would think like Lil Wayne would be talking about something about, yo, I shot the harpoon and it bounced off my spoon. Something like that. Like that was the whack stuff that he used to be throwing at us. A little bit more clever, but it didn't really matter, okay? Benny, are you looking up a compilation now of the weirdest things he said? That should, censored version, okay, so we can play it on the radio.
Lil Wayne's top 25 most what in the world lyrics.
Perfect, dude. That's perfect. I mean, we could just save that for one of the lists, but you know what? I don't care. Just play it right now if you want.
See, I can't say that on the radio.
Yeah.
I can't say that.
Well, you can bleep it if you need to. Like, if you're just quoting it, you can go without saying it.
I can't say that, even not on the radio.
Oh, Bandy, I'm going to have to look this up. Weirdest things.
No, weirdest ones, real G's move in silence like lasagna. That's a classic. That's not a weird one.
That's a good one, but it's weird. It's random.
But it's iconic.
What does it even mean, Bandy?
The G silent lasagna.
Okay.
Real gangsters move in silence. Like the G in lasagna.
Okay. All right. That was pretty good. All right.
It sounds so white right now.
No, come on.
Boogeyman, Pistol Pete. Boogeyman, Pistol Pete, Ammo Mammal, Gunman, Blum Blam.
See, that's the stuff I'm talking
That's
about.
That's a weird.
That is the weird stuff that he was doing. Why are we even talking about Lil Wayne? I brought it up. I'm sorry, guys. I didn't mean to bring it up. Either way, Bandy, I got a question for you, man.
What you got?
Does your car have a name?
Does my car have a name?
And what is it?
I haven't named it.
You haven't named it. Who does it have a name at all? Did anybody else give it a name because they were thinking, Bandy, why don't you have a car name?
I'm pretty sure my mom threw out a name for my car at one point.
Try to think about it right now.
I can't remember.
Think about a name that would fit your car right now, okay? I'll tell you what mine is. I sat in my car one day. I'm telling you this, okay? I wouldn't have picked this name, all right, if it wasn't my car telling me that this was its name. I sat in my car. I was like, driving down the road. I was like, Charlie. I was like, is that what my car's name is? I just, like, it came to me. I was like, is that my Charlie? I call him Charles sometimes. It just came out of nowhere. But, okay, what would your car's name be, okay? Let's just think of this right now. It's a Toyota 4Runner, all right?
All right.
So let's think. What could be a good name for it? I'm thinking Tyler. Are we going to give it a Tyler name? What are we going to give it, Bandy? Don't let me name it, or I'm going to name it freaking Bob, Billy Bob Joe Thurton.
Oh, my God. It's kind of like when you...
Tyler.
God, it's like when you try to name your dog, but you give it, like, a human name, and it just sounds weird.
Debbie?
I never want
Betty, sorry.
I've had a dog named Chuck.
Yeah? I mean, I feel like there's a few of
Like,
those
yeah,
names.
this is Chuck.
Well, I mean, my dog's name is Betty, so I didn't name it. My mom did. Yeah, the JYB. Think of a name, though, Bandy. Think of a name.
Pretty sure my mom named mine Bruiser.
Bruiser?
Yeah.
That fits. I feel like, I mean, you've cleaned it up a little bit. I mean, it had a few bruises on it, but
It's been through a couple, yeah.
that thing, if it came up into my Mustang and hit me, it'd probably leave a few bruises on mine, and yours would probably be totally fine. That's what I'm
You'd be
saying.
surprised.
Yeah. My Mustang takes some hits too. All right.
It continues to surprise me.
What? How it doesn't how it damages itself more than the other cars?
Yeah, like how it seems to always be in more damage than the other cars or anything else.
That is hilarious. Okay, hopefully, I was driving on the Parkway, and I told you guys about this. I got in an accident at one point, just a few weeks ago, actually. And a little bit ago, I just cleaned my car, and I looked on the back. There's, like, no damage at all. There's a few dents. Like, there's a small dent, like, near the license plate, and then down in the muffler, that you can see a little, like, chip and stuff. Yeah. And on the way bottom, there's a little bit of white. But all of the stuff that looked like it was damaged is totally gone now. And I'm like,
Nice.
Okay. Like, my car took a hit because I literally got pushed forward. If you guys are watching on WZZ on TV, you'd see exactly how hard I got hit. I was like, boom. I was like, oh, my gosh. And it's happened multiple times. People like to hit me in the butt all the time in Huntsville. It's not as bad as Florida, all right? But, I mean, people just don't know what they're doing. They're looking at their phones either way. Let's get into some of the fun stuff then, Bandy, because we got to talk with Joe Hunk from 104.5 The Zone here in a little bit. Bobby Wagner, this is the big story coming out of the NFL. He has officially parted ways with the LA Rams after only one season with the team. I honestly don't blame him for this, okay? The team was coming off of a Super Bowl. They were supposed to be hot moving forward. Bobby Wagner wanted a team that could get back to the Super Bowl, and the Seahawks weren't looking like it, so he left there to come to this LA Rams team. He wanted a little bit of the sunshine, and you know what? He's sick of it now, and he's on his way out. One thing I want to get into a little bit later, Bandy, is where his next destination will be, because this guy is still a hell of a player on defense, and he will be a presence to be reckoned with. 8-time Pro Bowler right here, only 32 years old. Man's ready to still play and perform and possibly get to another championship, just like our good old friend Derek Carr. I would love to get that guy on the show. If we get Derek Carr on the show and then Bobby Wagner, dude, some 32-year-olds hopping on with us, man, we talk about Derek Carr enough. We hype him up way more than he probably should be. And you know what? I want him on the show, Bandy. Do it.
You want Derek Carr on the show?
Dude, that would be hilarious.
That's a tall order to ask of me.
Derek Carr. Make it happen. I got people, you're my person. Talk to his people.
I got people. You.
You probably Chad will help you with it, okay? I don't know. I'll shout him out in a video or something like that.
Chad, you going to help me try to land Derek Carr?
I can, dude. We'll get the Tom Abraham to try and do it too. He's got a little bit. He's got a little bit of name up there. He's talked to some NFL players before. Maybe Derek Carr could come play for Tennessee. That wouldn't be a bad pick. Oh, that wouldn't be bad at all. Tennessee's dropping a lot of people. Maybe Ryan Tannehill's next. Who knows? We'll see. But then the Jake Paul, I almost said Jake Paul. That's probably what's going to happen. But he's going up against Tommy Fury, and it's coming up. Is it Sunday that it's going on?
Sunday.
Oh, Sunday.
Sunday.
I am excited for this, guys. I've been waiting forever, and you know what? It's going to be on ESPN Plus, or you can pay for it pay-per-view, $50. Not that bad, guys. It is worth seeing Jake Paul getting the absolute brains rocked out of him from this guy named Tommy Fury, who, he's related to Tyson Fury, the guy that literally will shake your brains until you're done with everything and break your face like a casserole that your mom just made. That makes no sense. It's a fun Friday, guys, and we're not making any sense. We're spitting out the facts, though, okay? I say Tommy Fury in the third round. Bandi, you got anything? You want to put anything on this one? Third round. I'm saying Tommy Fury drops the Paul.
Third round, he drops?
He drops the Paul. It's going to be a whole new year after this because he's dropping the ball. Chad's putting out, he's saying fourth round right here.
Because Jake said in the fourth round.
He said in the fourth round. Did he say in the fourth round Tommy's going down?
Yeah, he's set up. In the fourth round, Tommy Fury goes down.
No, if it actually happens in the fourth round, that will upset me because then I'll be like, all right. It's like this is you thought the NFL was scripted, Bandi.
I'm going earlier. I want Tommy Fury to drop him in round 2.
Yeah, but I'm being realistic. I mean, three is a stretch. Even four is good.
I want Jake to realize from the jump the mistake he made.
I wish.
When hopping into the ring with an actual boxer.
I just hope it's nothing like Floyd Mayweather against Logan Paul because that was actually bullcrap. All right.
Yeah.
Even though Floyd still won that fight, there was no winner. You know, they didn't decide a winner, but Floyd definitely won that fight. Okay, Logan was looking like a scared little baby, but it was all for the money. All right. So.
Logan should do UFC, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
Yeah, those talks have been in, and
should do YouTube.
Because I don't think boxing, maybe not anymore.
No.
But boxing, let Jake have that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, let him get all high.
Well, Jake wants to do UC or UFC now too.
He won't be as successful.
Yeah. I don't know. I've never seen him fight like that.
No, he's only got striking.
We'll see.
He would not have any ground game to work with. He would be a worse Conor McGregor when it came to ground game. And that's already saying something.
Tough takes.
Yeah.
Put him down, Bandi.
That was the thing. That was his only weakness.
Tell him how you feel.
He didn't have a ground game. Conor
Exactly.
McGregor. Those were like part of his only losses. And then you go up against Khabib, the best ground game fighter in the world.
Khabib.
And expect to hold your own, which he kind of did. He did until the second round. And then things got out of hand.
Yeah.
Because he got took down once.
Yeah, you can't go down. No, not if you're him at least. But either way, it's gonna be an exciting one. I'm saying 4, I'm saying 3, Bandy's saying 2, and the Chad is saying 4. So guys, if you want to place your own bets, not literally, but you can call in on the show 256-576-4977, or just leave it in the chat on WZZN TV or our Twitter at @theblitz_sports. And then, you know what? It looks like Jeff Bezos might actually purchase the Washington Commanders.
Really?
I'm actually pretty excited, okay? Now, nothing officially has come out except for that he has hired a investment firm company that is known for acquisitions including the Broncos as well as the Panthers, sorry. And so, I mean, now it's kind of looking a little likely that this team might be sold off sooner than later. It's making me happy because Dan Snyder is an absolute... Thank you for censoring me, Bandi. But it's going to be interesting to see what happens with this because, I mean, this isn't just any normal dude that's got like, a couple hundreds of millions of dollars, okay? This man's net worth, guys, I mean, you probably look it up and you're like, wow, that's actually pretty crazy. His net worth is 119, not million, billion. Billion. It is insane how much money this guy has. If he bought an NFL team, it would be nothing to this guy. It'd be like, oh, let's just throw, I don't know, what's the average price for an NFL team right now? Like 16 million?
I would say it's more than that.
You'd say it's more than that?
I would say it's more than the salary of some of their players.
I guess you're right. NFL teams, NBA teams go for like $5 million, so that's the crazy thing. Can't be billions.
In 2022, the Cowboys franchise was valued at $8 billion.
Oh, billion. Okay, maybe I just missed out on that.
Whilst the average franchise value in the NFL stood at about $3.48 billion.
Okay, it's billions. That's what I was way off then. So NBA teams are going for like $4 billion.
Yeah, I was about
4
to
to
say,
5 billion.
I was about
Okay.
to say, if you're paying your players more than you're making, then you've turned to the WNBA.
I was finna say, that was my bad right there, Bandy. I don't know how money works, actually, turns out, guys, but either way, we gotta hop into a break because we'll have one Mr. Joe Hunk on with us from 104.5 The Zone. It's gonna be good to have him on. I wanna talk a little bit about his Super Bowl experiences because maybe I could live through his experiences and then I could say to my children, this was exactly what happened, okay? I went to the Super Bowl.
Maybe you'll finally get to it.
Yeah, maybe I'll
We'll finally be able to get to it.
Bandy, we're gonna go next year.
Do the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
We got the Falcons?
Let's do it. No, the Falcons aren't going to anything.
Why are we going? Over Titans?
I don't know. We're just going because we're cool like that.
We're just going?
Joe Hunk went. He's not even with any of the teams that went this year.
Fair enough.
Titans weren't even in the Super Bowl.
Do we know
or
where
the
it's
playoffs?
Do we know where it's gonna be? Like where it's gonna be?
Las Vegas.
Ooh.
Vegas trip. And it just transitions.
Staying at the Rio.
Let's do it, dude. Let's go. Let's do some of that the hang gliding throughout the city or the strip. I don't know. I've never been to Vegas, guys. I've never even been past freaking Texas. Okay, Bandy, you gotta take me somewhere, man. You gotta take me somewhere. We gotta get the credentials and everything. I'll start talking to my guy upstairs. Don't worry about it. Upstairs, we're in the basement, so or the attic. Either way, we're gonna hop into a break.
We got Joe Hunk.
We gotta get out of here. Don't go anywhere because you're listening to the Afternoon Blitz.
The Blitz has been called.
Hey folks, this is Arthur Seaton, managing partner of University Kia, letting you know we are proud supporters of Crimson Tide football. Stop in the University Kia today and shop our large selection of new Kias, including the all-new Telluride 8-passenger SUV, the stylish new K5, and sporty new Seltos. Visit universitykia.com for all our great offers. And get pre-approved in minutes so you can drive home your new Kia today. Because we want to see you in a Kia. Roll Tide!
At Bryant Bank, we believe your goals are worth chasing, and every step along the way is worth celebrating. From your hopes for the future to the challenges that keep you up at night, we're here for you. Bryant Bankers put care into action to help you live legendary by stepping up when you need us most and doing what's right, even when no one is watching. Come experience a local bank whose people greet you by name and treat you like family. Bryant Bank, member FDIC.
You want the right specialist for your recovery. At SportsMed Orthopedic Surgery and Spine Center, we understand every body is different. Your muscles and bones are unique, as is your body. Our SportsMed specialists offer innovative treatments and minimally invasive procedures, allowing you to quickly return to the life you love. Locations in Huntsville, Madison, Athens, and Decatur, and on the web at sportsmedalabama.com. Improving performance, improving lives.
In 1982, Bob Baumhauer introduced Alabama to the Buffalo Wild Wing, and quite frankly, we've never been the same. Back then, it was Wings and Things in Tuscaloosa, but now, 40 years later, after 4 name changes, Baumhauer's Victory Grill is the #1 sports-themed restaurant in the state. Bob's Alabama Hot Chicken is something that has to be tried to believe, plus the new Bam Bam Chicken and the Louisiana-style Go Fish, a whitefish over rice topped with shrimp etouffee. And Baumhauer's is fighting inflation with some new affordable favorites. Visit Baumhauer's on the South Parkway today. Tom Abraham here for my friend Brian Hamaker and his team at North Alabama Mortgage. Look, buying a home is the biggest purchase you will make in your life, and it can be a bit intimidating, so you want people that can help walk you through the mortgage process and get you the best deal possible. That's what North Alabama Mortgage does, and they do it in Alabama, Tennessee, and Florida, from first-time purchases to refis, conventional, VA, FHA, and USDA loans. They have the solution at North Alabama Mortgage. Visit NorthAlabamaMortgage.com to learn more. That's NorthAlabamaMortgage.com. What's better than Valley Equipment Rental? 2 Valley Equipment Rentals, and that's just what we have now. The original on the South Memorial Parkway between Drake and Airport Road, and their second location on North Memorial Parkway just north of Winchester Road. Valley Equipment is locally owned and has more skid steers, excavators, and lifts than anyone in the area, plus all the small tools that you need to get the job done like a pro. And if you are a pro, you need to check out the new North location now because Valley Equipment has what you need. Learn more at valleyequipmentrents.com.
Rambo Marine in Hazel Green is your one-stop shop for all things boating. Whether you are ready to surf with the newest Malibu wake boat or cruise in a Cobalt or Barletta pontoon, we have a boat ready for you and your family. Rambo Marine provides exceptional service second to none, so that you are ready to hit the water in no time. Stop by Rambo Marine today. We know boats. The Blitz has been called.
Hello and welcome back, everybody, to a fun Friday here in No Man's Land. Welcome to the Afternoon Blitz on the Tennessee Valley Blitz Sports Radio Network. I'm your host, Cap Cool, alongside the Bandi Man, Billy Larry.
Yo.
And we're having a fun one so far. We covered a few cool things at the beginning of the show, but instead of going into the cool segment, we're going right into our cool guest of the week, which is one Mr. Joe Hunk, who we didn't have on last week, and you know what? It's a travesty that we didn't, but make sure you guys do remember that this hour is presented by Fleming Roofing and Restoration, the guys you need to talk to about all of your roofing needs. If you're having any roofing problems, make sure you look them up online and fill out your free quote today. That's Fleming Roofing and Restoration, and remember, they always show up. Now, on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline, one of our favorite guests from 104.5 The Zone in Nashville, that's Mr. Joe Hunk. Joe, how are you doing today, brother?
I'm doing awesome. The family is up in Nashville because tomorrow I am doing the Polar Plunge. In town, right there at Nissan Stadium, and so everybody's coming up to see me jump into like 40-degree water.
I mean, at least it's not too bad. The weather has been getting a little bit warmer. I don't know about up in Nashville, but I know in Huntsville it's been getting kind of warm. A little rainy right now, but you know it's totally fine. But we wish you the best of luck with that Polar Plunge because honestly, the only way I would do that if I had a hot tub right next to me so I could jump right into that afterwards.
Yeah, my wife I asked her if I should just go shirtless during this and just jump in just shorts.
Do it.
And she's like, no, I'm just glad you're wearing long sleeves because I don't need you sick. Like, all right, I mean, I could do it shirtless.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it'd be a great picture because the pictures, we're going to use these pictures for next year when we promote the Polar Plunge. So, like, you know, you'll get to see them for all time.
Exactly. And now I want to kind of get into some other things going down in Nashville, and that happened yesterday with Robert Woods, Taylor Lewan, as well as Randy Bullock being cut from the Tennessee Titans, at least released, and kind of tell us a little bit of why this was going down in the first place and how it's going to affect Tennessee moving forward with this kind of limited cap space they have aftermath.
Well, and it's more about production versus value. I mean, you guys know, all of us know that if we're getting paid a certain amount, we need to be able to produce to justify what we're getting paid. And the guys that got cut over the past couple of days just were not doing that. I mean, you know, Bullock, out of all of those, was actually going to be the one that you could say was producing the most. But even he missed a few games this season because of an injury. Mm-hmm. So, you know, Taylor Lewan has been injured for the last, 2-3 seasons off and on. Obviously, he got hurt in the very first play in the second game this season, which ended his season and in reality ended his career with the Titans. So we knew that was going to happen. Bobby Trees was supposed to get $20 or $12 million this year, and he didn't produce in 2022 enough to just. So the same thing goes for somebody like Zach Cunningham, which everybody in Nashville loved because he also played at Vanderbilt. But at the same time, he missed games. When he was on the field, he was not as productive as they were wanting him to be, so they had to make the cuts. And the other part of this is you're going into a period of time, specifically next week, when everybody is up in Indianapolis, and you do not want to go up there when you don't have any money whatsoever in the salary cap. And so what the Titans did is instead of being $25 million in the red And through all of these cuts, they're now a little between $11 and $12 million in the black. And so people are asking, go up to Indianapolis. Indianapolis is, yes, it is the NFL Combine. Every single one of these top players that are going to be at the Combine, your Russ Wilson, your TJ Stroud, your Will Andersons, those guys are also represented by agents that also represent like majority of the NFL. So you're not just going to be talking to just about, so-and-so like it here in Nashville with Paris Johnson, really like playing offensive line in Nashville. You're also hey, just curious as to what your boy's feeling over there, in San Francisco, feel like coming over here. So it's kind of like this period of time where you can go in and you already have a little bit of leverage saying, hey, look, we've already got $11 million. We're most likely going to restructure Tannehill. There's most likely the possibility of Bandi getting cut as well in the next coming weeks. And so that's going to give us even more money that we can play with, that we can start to rebuild or retool this roster, whichever way you want to look at it.
Good stuff by Joe Hung from 104.5 The Zone in Nashville. And now, kind of looking at the Robert Woods thing, because afterwards, he had half of 1,000 yards on the season, 2 touchdowns. And he put up some decent numbers for his first time with the Tennessee Titans after his time with the Rams previous. But you look at it and you see his response to being let go on Twitter, and he just says one word, and it's free, and then he goes on to tweet another one, where should I go next? Is this a player who should be this confident about, moving forward in his career, or is it just like a Odell Beckham Jr. thing where he's like, oh, I'm overconfident, I'm going to be picked up as soon as, a team is ready for me, type of thing?
No, he should be confident, because when he was healthy, he was a fantastic receiver for the Rams. See, the Todd Downing and John Robinson did exactly what they do with everything else. They got an injured player, hoping that he would return to what he used to be after the injury was over with. And Bobby Trees he was healthy on the field. He was there, but he just wasn't a difference maker. So when you're not a difference maker, you're not going to get paid your $12 million that you're expected to get paid. And to be honest with you, every single Titans fan wanted to tweet out free after Todd Downing was let go, because everybody was there. Like, we don't understand as far as the community as to why on earth the New York Jets want Todd Downing, but they can have him. So it was a bad offensive scheme. It was a bad offense altogether. And yes, Robert Woods can go somewhere and he can be way more productive in what he is trying to do in 2023 than what he could be in 2022, because he's still healthy going in the offseason, where last offseason he was trying to get healthy.
Exactly. And, the Jets are probably just scraping for anything. They need anybody to really help that organization, because they started off good last season, but you know what? It didn't really mean anything since they didn't go to the playoffs. They also don't have a quarterback, so they're going to try and figure that out during the draft. But moving on over to Tennessee Volunteers basketball, this is something that it's so confusing to me, because we see this team be so elite at times. They even beat Alabama only a few days ago, and then they go on to lose 2 straight to, yes, decent teams in the SEC, if not, Texas A&M, who is a little bit of an underdog in a lot of situations. But now they're going up against South Carolina, a team that just nearly beat Alabama. Is this going to be a continuing trend throughout the rest of this season? Because they still have a handful of games to finish off before the March Madness begins.
Well, it's going to be it's going to be a continuing trend as long as they remain to be a team that has injuries. And I think that's the biggest problem with this, is that they have 2 very important pieces of their offense where that they are injured. And so if those players continue to remain injured, then yes, this offense is going to struggle. As a matter of fact, if you look at the injuries that this team has had and compare them to what has happened in the games, the losses are connected to the loss of the 2 players. And so that is where a lot of this is all going to be connected with their differences. And so now when you look at those 2 players, and the 2 players I'm talking about, if you don't know, Josiah Jordan-James and Julian Phillips, those 2 players are directly connected to the production for this offense, and that's the reason why they haven't been playing so well.
Okay, all right. Is there what's the timeline on these guys coming back for the team? Is it going to be in time for March Madness, or maybe too late for them to hope?
So everything that Rick Barnes said the other night, the words he kept using was We're hopeful that they're going to be back soon because everything has been kind of a TBD with them. So it's been they may be back for this game. Oh, wait, they may be back for that game. Oh, wait, they may be back for this game. I mean, they could be back for South Carolina tomorrow. We have no idea because it's a day-to-day. And there was actually some skepticism with this because if you listened or if you were listening to his press conference post-game, you heard him say things like, I have to believe they're doing everything imaginable to make sure that they're good to go. Well, a lot of, Tennessee fans are also Titans fans.
Yeah.
And when Mike Vrabel said that about some of his players, and he said, well, I have to imagine that these guys are, need to be working hard enough to make these, to get themselves in position to come off of IR. There's a lot of PTSD in that. Now, there's some people who are like, hey, that's just how Rick Barnes talks. And then there's others that are saying, wait a second, is he saying that, he thinks that they're trying hard, but could they be trying harder to get back in the lineup because that's what's going to be needed? Tennessee's in a situation where they're fighting for the double bye right now. There are 3 or 4 teams fighting for the double bye. Tennessee, Kentucky, oddly, it's weird to say, Vanderbilt's fighting for the double bye. So, you have your teams like Alabama and you have your teams like Texas A&M that are already there. But then you have your Auburns, your Kentuckys, your Tennessees, your Vanderbilts. They all still want the double bye. And the next 3 games are going to be extremely important for that. So you need these players back on the court because you don't want them to be coming onto the court in their very first game at Bridgestone Arena in the SEC tournament.
And now, kind of like whether or not they're able to make it back in time, even for March Madness, with these final 3 games, like which one of these do you see being the toughest competition for the Tennessee Volunteers? Because me personally, I could see Arkansas and Auburn being absolute back and forth between these two.
All right, so I'm going to say Auburn just because of the arena, okay? Because Auburn inside of the jungle is just a different basketball team inside of the jungle. I'm going to say it's going to be the more difficult one. The Arkansas game that's going to be coming up on Tuesday night, if Arkansas can get into any kind of rhythm like they did against Georgia the other night, yes, I understand that it's Georgia. But if they can get into any kind of rhythm, if you have not watched Arkansas play, Arkansas is seriously Dunk City. Like we remember, what was it, like Florida Gulf Community College or whatever it was that became like Dunk U or something like that during the tournament. That is exactly what Arkansas is. They have multiple players that play above the rim. Ricky Council is just an absolute show. Okay, you can go back and watch the highlights of the Georgia-Arkansas game from the other night, and there were dunks in that were probably better than what was in the actual NBA dunk contest a couple of days before.
Hey, that's big words of how Mac McClung performed.
Okay, look, anytime a white boy can dunk, we just are happy. Okay, look, I have had one white boy in New Hope whenever I was in high school he dunked in pregame, and it was like the greatest thing that we've ever seen. Okay, so anytime a white boy can do anything in basketball, like, he's going to get applauded. Okay, it's like, oh, good for him. But no, like, I'm telling you, if Arkansas gets into a rhythm, this Arkansas team can be very, very good. And if Tennessee allows them to get into that rhythm, Arkansas will not only go in and be able to get a lead, but when they start to get a lead, they will take your soul because they will start throwing alley-oops to each other and slamming it down so hard that all of Knoxville will just get quiet at what they're having to watch.
Joe Hunk with us from 104.5 The Zone in Nashville, doing a great job talking Tennessee sports. And I want to move over a little bit because if you didn't know, I feel like you should know this because you're out there, but the Tennessee Volunteers have started their baseball season as well, and they didn't start it off too pretty, but thankfully they kind of turned things around with 3 wins in a row against Alabama A&M as well as UC San Diego. So now they're sitting at 3-2 on the season, but those losses to Arizona and Grand Canyon University kind of bother some. Do you know anything that's going down for this Volunteers baseball team, and does that show anything for the future of this season?
No, I think that everything that took place in Arizona this past weekend, I think it's something that you need to look at and just be like, hey, this was the first game. You were going up against some very good baseball teams. Okay, people don't really realize this, but the teams that you're playing in Arizona, every single one of those teams were NCAA tournament teams last year, and you were in. So Arizona, even Cal, San Diego, like all of these teams are very good baseball teams.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you look at that, and then you look at what they did to Alabama A&M. Which, God, after what they did to Alabama A&M, I didn't even know if that team was going to make it back. Like, I mean, that was almost just like a sacrifice directly on the field 2 nights in a row. But, seriously, like I drove by the stadium the other day as I was driving into Huntsville, just looking around like, oh, I guess they survived. Boy, it didn't look like they survived on Tuesday and Wednesday. So it was, it was just a destruction.
Mm-hmm.
This baseball team could be the best pitching rotation in college baseball. It's not an exaggeration, okay? You have, between the transfers that have come in and the talent that came back from last year's team, from a pitching standpoint, you are looking at arguably the best weekend rotation in college baseball. So I'm telling you right now, because you're not going to think about it because you're going to have basketball and everything going on, but I want to say it is March 30th through April 1st, or March 30th through April 1st, Tennessee in Baton Rouge playing LSU. That is arguably the best pitching rotation, is going to go up against arguably the best overall team in college baseball that weekend. That is going to be an amazing series. It just so happens to also be, when like the Final Four and stuff.
And it's something to kind of look at, though, with this SEC baseball squad right now, because we got LSU at number 1, Tennessee at number 3, Ole Miss at number 4, Texas A&M at number 5, Florida at number 7, Arkansas at number 9, and Vanderbilt at number 10, with a handful of others in the top 25 as well. And it's kind of ridiculous to see this many SEC schools being this good at basketball right now. Obviously, that is the first AP poll we've seen, but going into the next one, we should still see some of these guys at that top position. What's your opinion on this SEC in baseball right now? Why is it so elite?
Guys, I'm telling you, and I know people don't like hearing this because we want to beat our drum about how amazing the SEC when it comes to football. Okay, the SEC's best sport is baseball.
Oh,
it is.
Love to hear
the
it.
SEC's best sport is college baseball. Okay, because everything that the SEC would love to happen in this 12-team playoff that's eventually going to happen is already happening whenever these teams go to Omaha. You're already having 4 and 5 and 6 SEC baseball teams going to Omaha to play for a national championship. The only reason why sometimes you don't have more is because 2 SEC teams meet in the super regionals.
It's true.
Like, that is how good this league is. It is hands down the best league. It also has a lot to do with weather because, yes, we think it's great when Ohio State or Michigan are playing in snow. But if you go and look at any college baseball team's schedule from above the Mason-Dixon line, okay, if you're talking your Indianas, your Ohio State, your any Big Ten school, any of those Northeastern schools like Boston College or even Boston or Yale or Harvard or any of those teams, look at their schedule. Like, for the entire first month of the season, they are on the road, and they are playing in southern states because of the weather. They practice indoors, and then they come in, and they have to then go. Some of these teams don't even have facilities where they can even practice inside because, obviously, when we're talking about the facilities war, we're talking about football. We're not talking about baseball. So, they have their fields are covered in snow and ice and all of that, and so all they're doing is hitting inside and pitching inside. It's a lot harder to play college baseball in the north than what it is in the southeast. So that's the reason why your ACC and SEC schools are so good, and your Big 12 schools, because you can throw your Texas Techs and your Texas and those types of schools in there. But there's a reason why these schools are playing so well and so often is because a lot of these players will come to the South just because they don't want to travel for the first month to month and a half of the season.
And it's crazy to look at. I mean, I'm looking at the standings right now, the top 25, and I believe there is only I think it's one or two teams that are playing up in the north. Maryland is up there at number 13. And that's the only one I can really think of that is actually like up, close to that New York and Pennsylvania type of area. There might be a few more on it, but still, like that, it is insane to think about when you put it into the grand perspective of things. But I kind of want to move over now. Did you watch any of the XFL from last week or possibly last night? Because holy crap, it is actually really good.
I'm going to have to take your word for it. I'm going to have to take your word for it.
Oh.
Because no, I mean, look, I'm going to watch Orlando and San Antonio this Sunday, and the only reason I'm doing so is because Dawn Davenport is going to be on the call in it, and I'm going to support her. That's it. That's the only reason I'm going to be on it. So she's going to be on the sidelines for that game, and that's the only reason I'm watching the XFL on Sunday, because I don't care anything about it. Like I just don't. I'm a quality over quantity type guy. And I mean, I think that's part of the reason why I've objected to a lot of the things that happen in college football, because I want better. I don't want more. I want, there's a reason why in the NFL you have so many great football teams, or so many teams can beat the other. I mean, look, we go back to last season. I mean, you had a 1-12 Houston Texans team coming into Nashville, and you were having to say, hey, this Texans team can actually beat you. Like, they actually can. Okay? When San Jose State goes into Tuscaloosa, you're not going to say, oh, the San Jose State team, man, they don't have a chance. No, you're not saying that. So, and so with the XFL, I believe that it has merit. It has a place. I'm just not interested in it, because am I going to watch the XFL, or am I going to watch Tennessee and South Carolina to see if Tennessee can get right? Am I going to watch the XFL, or am I going to watch Auburn play because I want to know if Auburn's going to continue to play as well as they did against Ole Miss going into the tournament? Am I going to watch the XFL, or am I going to watch opening day of Major League Baseball? Am I going to watch the XFL, or am I going to watch the NCAA tournament? Because every single time I'm choosing something else over the XFL when it is on. And so that's, if I'm always doing that, then I can never say, oh, yeah, I'm happy for them. Like, hey, these guys are getting opportunities. It's great for them. If they want to become man 52 or man 53 and they can help a roster, cool. But for me as a fan, I mean, watching a half-empty Seattle, Lumen Field last night, because it was on whenever I was at a restaurant, and I looked over, I was like, hey, look, AJ's throwing passes. Cool. All right, great. Oh, look, there he fumbled. Like, and I said, all right, well, the moment he fumbled, I'm like, all right, well, I'm definitely not paying attention anymore, because this is what the XFL is. So, I'm just not that guy that I'm going to watch something like that, because I'm always going to choose something else over the XFL.
Okay, hey, that's totally understandable. I mean, it's a weird back and forth for me, because it's like, oh, it's interesting because it's another new league. It's the XFL making a revival again. But at the same time, I don't find myself sitting down and watching the games all the way through. It's mainly either just hopping on highlights and seeing the fun that is going down in the league, because it personally, to me, I think it is pretty entertaining. The new rule changes are pretty cool. They make some things a little some things a little cool. But overall, it's just one of those things where you really have to have a team, where you have to live in one of those states to personally go to those games to really feel the vibes that the league is bringing. But it's kind of tough when there's only like 8 teams. But either way, it's a good way to look at it, though. I mean, there are a lot of good things coming up, and once March Madness hits, I don't think I'm going to have time to watch any of that stuff. I don't even think I'm going to think about any of that stuff.
and that's the issue. Like, you have a place, but your place that you're putting it in is you're constantly trying to say, well, I want to have it directly after the Super Bowl, because fans are going to be wanting football so the very next week. And to be honest with you, the next week after the Super Bowl, I mean, I just got back from Phoenix, and I'm just going, oh, okay, I'm just going to rest this weekend. Like, I don't care that anything else is on.
Yeah.
So, if the Preds somehow figure out that, the object of hockey is to win, then I'm going to want to watch them instead of sitting and watching an XFL game for teams that I don't care about, with players that I'm basically going to look at and be like, oh, Vic Beasley, yeah, you've screwed up 400 times. Why should I care about watching you play? So it's those types of players that I'm just like, all right, cool. Like, hey, good for you. Oh, you guys are still playing Jordan Tatum, or you're a quarterback somewhere? Sweet. All right, good for you, man. Just, like, keep going. Like, I hope that you get something out of it. But I'm not in a place where I would go, okay, so Jordan Tiamu, he looks like he's got some good foot movement now. He looks like he's calmed down those legs. He's not as jittery in the pocket. Like, okay, no, I'm not that guy because I'm not trying to scout for an NFL team. But, every single thing I'm going to, because, again, you just mentioned it, when the tournament starts, and not even just the NCAA tournament, when conference tournament play begins. Am I going to watch Kentucky, Tennessee and the semifinals on Saturday, or am I going to turn over and watch Seattle and, I don't know who else is, Orlando? Am I going to sit there and watch those two teams in an XFL game?
Definitely not Orlando.
Or am I going to watch, say, Auburn and Alabama playing each other at Bridgestone and a game to go to the SEC championship? Which one is going to be more interesting to me?
Yeah, it's definitely one of those things to think about. But Joe Hunk has been our guest. We're going to have to cut it a little short, but I will want to throw in this little tidbit right here. Paxton Lynch is still playing football, and he has been benched in his 4th league that he has played for. That's right. He's been benched in the USFL, the XFL, the Canadian Football League, as well as the NFL, and he is the only quarterback to ever do so. So that's the only fun stat we're seeing out of that. Also, Josh Gordon's back in a football league as well, and he's actually doing pretty decent. But either way, Joe, let the people...
They must not drug test.
I know, that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, did this guy just go cold turkey? Like, why did he do this for the NFL? He would have made a lot more money, okay? But either way.
Josh Gordon was in Nashville. He was in Nashville, but again, he never, I think he got on the field a little bit, but he never actually did anything.
Was he actually?
So, it's just, look, you can't screw away those years, man.
Yeah.
Those years will take a toll on your speed because 4.5 is very different than 4.3.
Exactly.
And 4.7 is way different from 4.5 when you're talking about a wide receiver.
Exactly.
So that being said, take a 4.5, go to Twitter, follow me at Joe Hunk, follow me on Instagram at Joe Hunk, follow me everywhere as Joe Hunk. Just do it in a 4.5 speed or a 4.3 speed.
Super quick, guys. That's the only way to do it. But thank you very much, Joe. Next time we have you on, I promise we will get some of your Super Bowl stories in here because that's really what I wanted, but there's a lot of stuff going around in your area, and we needed to figure that out today.
There's a ton. Heck, by the time we talk next week, Tannehill may be cut for all week.
Well, either way, we'll get that into it as well. Whatever happens in Tennessee as well as the Super Bowl stories because I want to live through your experiences. That's just an awesome thing you got to deal with. But we're going to let you go, Joe. We got the rest of the show to get into. We appreciate your time, big guy. Go hang out with your family.
All right. Have a good one, guys.
Have a good one, Joe.
Good stuff from Joe Hunk. There it is. We're going to hop into a break, guys. When we come back, we're going to close out the first hour and preview the second. I got a little bit of saliva in my throat. I'm good. Don't go anywhere, guys. You're listening to the Afternoon Blitz.
The Blitz has been called.
Are you tired of chasing a roofing contractor to show up on time or even show up at all? I'm Sam Fleming with Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Our motto at Fleming Roofing is we show up. Our goal at Fleming Roofing is to provide the reliable customer service that you deserve, and we have the resources to meet all of your roofing needs, residential, commercial, industrial, replacement, or repairs. We are manufacturer certified for roof coatings, single-ply membranes, and asphalt shingles. Whenever you need a roofing professional you can count on, call Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We are committed to finding the solution that meets your needs. We don't have quotas or heavy-handed sales tactics. Fleming Roofing. We have expert experience. We show up. Free estimates. Residential, commercial, industrial, replacement, or repairs. Check us out at FlemingHSV.com. FlemingHSV.com. When you need a quick response, it's Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
With us today, Dr. Tracy Lowry of Best Vein Care of Huntsville.
When we evaluate a patient and they indeed have significant venous disease, most third-party payers, private insurance, Medicare, require us to treat every patient conservatively at least 90 days. Conservative treatment includes increasing ambulation, elevation of the legs, and the wearing of compression stockings. It's very common for folks to come see us in March or April wanting to have their veins fixed before they go into swimsuits starting in June. When we see someone in March or April, they're going to require at least 90 days of conservative treatment before we can even go to the insurance carrier to get permission to treat their veins. So if you think you have a venous problem, now is the time to come in and get a free screening so we can determine whether or not you need something evaluated. If you have a vein problem or you think you may have a vein problem, now's the time to contact us at bestveincarehuntsville.com.
This is Wes Neighbors talking to Chris Haygood of Bob Wallace Appliance. Chris, what sets you apart from other appliance dealerships?
Wes, these appliances are going into the most used room in your house, your kitchen. The way we have these appliances displayed, it's easy for you to visualize how they'll look in your home. Wes, what sets us apart is the people. They're well trained. In fact, they live and breathe these appliances. And if you need service, you'll really appreciate our parts department.
Contact Bob Wallace Appliance at 256-533-2121.
Are you tired of chasing a roofing contractor to show up on time or even show up at all? I'm Sam Fleming with Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Our motto at Fleming Roofing is we show up. Our goal at Fleming Roofing is to provide the reliable customer service that you deserve, and we have the resources to meet all of your roofing needs: residential, commercial, industrial, replacement, or repairs. We are manufacturer certified for roof coatings, single-ply membranes, and asphalt shingles. Whenever you need a roofing professional you can count on, call Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We are committed to finding the solution that meets your needs. We don't have quotas or heavy-handed sales tactics. Fleming Roofing, we have expert experience. We show up. Free estimates, residential, commercial, industrial, replacement, or repairs. Check us out at FlemingHSV.com. FlemingHSV.com. When you need a quick response, it's Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
Great food and the best live entertainment is what it's all about at the Furniture Factory Bar and Grill. Head to downtown Huntsville every Tuesday for karaoke on the only outdoor karaoke stage in North Alabama. Thursday night is the Valley's longest running and biggest bike night. Food and drink specials, giveaways, and live music on the patio. And the Furniture Factory menu is fully loaded with options from steaks to salads, plus a whole lot more. Featuring a weekday happy hour that starts at 3. 619 Meridian Street, downtown Huntsville, and online at FurnitureFactoryBarGrill.com.
Guys, when we were 20, we never had to worry about spontaneity. And now that we've gotten older, spontaneity has been replaced with pills and injections. We're just trying to keep that intimacy, but it's taken away from spontaneity. At Advanced Life Clinic, we now offer GainsWave, which uses sound waves to non-invasively treat this issue with no need for pills or injections. Just give us a call, 256-888-9367, or check us out online, advancedlifeclinic.com.
Listen to the wind blow, watch the sun rise.
Hello and welcome back, everybody, into a fun Friday here in No Man's Land. Last segment here in this first hour of the show, and let me tell you, it has been a fun one here in No Man's Land. But we are not done with it yet because we gotta still get into the second hour, which will be wide open for you guys to hop in 256-576-4977. And we will remind you that this hour has been presented by Fleming Roofing and Restoration, the guys that you need to talk to about all of your roofing needs. If you're having any roofing problems, these are the one-stop shop guys to look for because they will show up and get your house taken care of lickety-split. Also, you know, you just want to be able to chill, sit back in your lazy boy, watch some sports, watch some football, play some video games, and not worry about the rain that's hitting your roof and getting inside of your house. You want to stay dry when you're doing all that stuff, guys. Come on. Don't make the mistake that I did and Planet Fitness did by not getting a Fleming roof atop your head. I mean, seriously, though, I feel like every Planet Fitness I go in has drips going down. I'm like, get this stuff taken care of. It's Fleming Roofing and Restoration, guys. You know the deal. All right. We got a lot of fun to come in the second hour of the show, so you guys don't want to miss out on any of it. Me and the Bandi Man will be bringing you guys the latest news, stories in sports and gaming, as well as, heck, why not some lists, guys? It is a Friday, and Bandi, I'm looking forward to yours, and I know you're going to be looking forward to mine because it's related to NASCAR, the thing that just started last week. Oh, yeah. Super excited, guys, so stick around. The fun is coming. Some more in the next segment. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to the Afternoon Blitz.
McCurry Motors is your car and van rental headquarters. You can rent the vehicle you need today. Family in town, sporting event, church function, no matter what your need, McCurry Motors has you covered with a wide selection of cars and vans available for rent. They have 12-passenger Mercedes Sprinter vans, 12-passenger Ford Transit vans, 15-passenger Ford Transit vans, and 15-passenger Chevrolet Express vans. They have 2 locations, Highway 72 in Athens or Max Luther Drive in Huntsville.
With us today, Dr. Tracy Lowry of Best Van Care of Huntsville.
When we evaluate a patient and they indeed have significant venous disease, most third-party payers, private insurance, Medicare, require us to treat every patient conservatively at least 90 days. Conservative treatment includes increasing ambulation, elevation of the legs, and the wearing of compression stockings. It's very common for folks to come see us in March or April wanting to have their veins fixed before they go into swimsuits starting in June. When we see someone in March or April, they're going to require at least 90 days of conservative treatment before we can even go to the insurance carrier to get permission to treat their veins. So if you think you have a venous problem, now is the time to come in and get a free screening so we can determine whether or not you need something evaluated. If you have a vein problem or you think you may have a vein problem, now's the time to contact us at bestveincarehuntsville.com.
I'm attorney Gary Lackey. You know, you'll hear people say we're like a family, but here at the Lackey Law Firm, that's really true, not just a saying.
I'm Justin Lackey. With my father and my sister, we have a special connection to each other.
I'm Jennifer Lackey. At the Lackey Law Firm, when we take on your case, you become part of our family. You really do.
And we'll always do whatever it takes to get everything you deserve.
If you're injured, you worry about getting well, not about paperwork or insurance companies or figuring out how to get to your lawyer's office. I'll come to you.
We worry about your case so you don't have to.
When you've been injured, we know that your case is probably the biggest thing going on in your life, more important than almost anything else.
And it's important to us too, for one simple reason. Family takes care of each other, and at the Lackey Law Firm, we'll take care of you.
The Lackey Law Firm. The Lackey Law Family. 1-800-4-RIGHTS.
No representation is made that the quality of the legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
Look out in the street there. You know what you don't see? My car, because I had to sell it to pay the lawyer I hired when I got busted for drunk driving. You know what else you don't see? My girlfriend, who decided that a guy with no car and no license and no money was no fun. And hey, you know what else you don't see? You don't see me leaving for work in the morning, because I missed so much time with court and everything that I got fired.
Drive sober or get pulled over. Paid for by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
This hour of The Blitz is brought to you by Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Online at FlemingHSV.com. Welcome to the evolution of sports radio.
You see, in this industry, just like in life, everything evolves.
Call 256-576-4977 to make your audible for The Blitz.
That man is playing Galaga. Thought we wouldn't notice, but we did.
It's the Afternoon Blitz. Here are your hosts, Captain Cool and the Bandi Man.
Hello, welcome back. Second hour here on a funky Friday or a fun Friday. Anything that really is hype on a Friday. That is what it is here in No Man's Land on the Afternoon Blitz on the Tennessee Valley Blitz Sports Radio Network. I'm your host, Captain Cool, alongside the Bandi Man, Bailey Lowry. Yep. Make sure you guys find us online at theblitzsportsradio.com and on Twitter at @theblitz_sports. And while you're at it, go and follow us on Twitch and YouTube at WZNTV. And you know what? If you're lacking behind a little bit, listening to us on the website, there's no reason to do that, guys. I mean, like, feel free to do it all you want, but there's an easier alternative, and that is the Blitz Sports Radio app on Apple and Android devices. And while you're there, just go and get our 97.7 ESPN The Zone app as well, because you're going to get all of the best content from your favorite sports talk hosts here in the South. I'm going to say that. The entire South. I was going to say North Alabama, but I'm like, you know what? North Alabama for some people, but the entire South for others. Because I know the Tom Abraham, people love listening to him in, like, Argentina and stuff.
Yeah, your favorite sports talk host in Poland.
Yeah, if you're in Poland, you guys love us. That's what we've learned. And then like there's Wes Neighbors who's on the drive with one Steve Moulton, and both of those guys. I mean, they're hard hitters. You love to listen to their show. And I mean, Wes is just a former football player for the Crimson Tide himself. He used to do a great job for them, and he's still doing a great job performing over here. And I mean, it's just something you guys want to do. You want to listen to these guys. It's just amazing. But this hour is brought to you by Woody Anderson Ford. It's the best place to get the best vehicles for the best prices. Make sure you drive home in a brand new 2023 Bronco, Mustang, or if you're into trucks, they have a plethora of nice ones for you, including the F-150, the Maverick, which runs at a very cheap price, guys. I'm telling you, brand new truck. You can get it for under $24K. Can you believe that price? That's wild. That's just the Ford price right there. And then the always reliable Ford Ranger that you guys all know made a comeback in recent years, and it is still as spectacular as ever. And they have a plethora of used vehicles as well. So head on down, talk with Bobby White and his crew, and they will take care of you guys. Make sure you find out more at WoodyAndersonFord.com. Bandi, do we got somebody on the line? Because that's what it's looking like over there. It looks like we do. We're gonna hit the lines real quick before we hop into the cool segment. Who we got?
Yeah, we got Brandon.
Oh yeah.
On the line. What's going on, Brandon?
I can't tell y'all how good it makes me feel to know that Joe Hunk is too good for the XFL.
It's funny. It actually surprised me, but I was like, it's understandable. I mean, at times, like, there's been leagues in the past that have kind of just went over my head. I didn't really care too much for them, but there's something different that's going on with this XFL. Maybe it's the Rock's energy and all that stuff. But, I mean, hearing Joe's response kind of made me a little sad because I was like, I'm having a lot of fun with it, but I can understand he's got other things. Do you kind of feel the same way, Brandon, or where are you at with the XFL?
No, I'm watching it. I thought that Battle Hawks game last week was good.
Yeah?
I think these guys in this league are playing hard.
Yeah.
They may not be the best ability-wise, but they look to me like they're playing really hard.
Yeah, for sure. And
I like that.
It's making it makes it fun to watch because it's not like you're watching like the AAFL. Okay, no dog in that. Even though it doesn't really matter because they don't exist anymore. But watching that, there was something about it. It looked like some of the players were playing hard. They were doing the best they could do, but the talent just wasn't there. But now we get to see these guys in the XFL. And we're seeing some dudes that genuinely can play some football. Some of them a little aged. AJ McCarron trying his best with that line he's got. But then there's Josh Gordon who's, still performing like how he used to. And it's just great to see.
Yeah, I like it. It's on in the background for me. I may not be 100% tuned in.
Yeah.
But when the games are on, I'm mostly tuned into them. And I sent Bailey something the other day, and I don't know if he shared it with you.
I don't believe he did.
I sent him a video of these two guys. One of them, if it gives you any perspective of their physical stature, one of them is called Hulk. The other one is called Neanderthal.
All right.
In the heavyweight champion of the world, super heavyweight, I think it was, slap contest.
All right, yeah.
One of these dudes' hands is the size of a full-size cast iron skillet.
Oh, my gosh.
And these two guys are not your average dudes like the guys we talked about before that are 180 to 190 pounds.
Yeah.
This one guy's got to be 6'6", 375.
Wow.
The other guy's got to be 6'2", 350. They are hitting each other, and it is unbelievable. It's for the World Championship of the world with these guys. And make a long story short, the Neanderthal guy felt a couple of licks after he put the Hulk guy down twice.
Wow.
Hit him and just knocked him slap down. Dude got back up. It's one of the most amazing things I've ever seen. I think I would have just convulsed and died on the spot if he'd have hit me like that.
You could not pay me any amount of money to be in a ring with anybody. First off, to just slap each other in the face, because that's just one way to get a freaking concussion. And second off, if I was going against the guy that was named, what did you say, the Mammoth? Was that his name?
It was Hulk and Neanderthal.
Oh, the Neanderthal.
6'6", 375.
It's wild. Like there was one slap in there. I forgot who it was because literally these two guys are just
two humongous dudes fighting each other with two crazy names.
They're two humongous dudes, but I'm pretty sure one of the slaps I saw almost took off the jaw of the other guy.
Oh my gosh!
It is wild how hard these guys are hitting each other.
Why didn't you show me this, Bandi?
The guy's arm and his hand have got to weigh 60 pounds.
Oh my God! Just imagine walking around with it.
I mean, the one guy's towering over the other. He's so big. And he feels the shots from the smaller, I say, smaller 340 to 350-pound man. You can tell he felt the shots. He kind of backed up, but he took every one of them hard. The first two licks he put on the smaller guy, he dropped him to his back. Guy gets up and keeps giving licks. After taking 2 or 3 more, they go like 6 rounds of knocking the hell out of each other before the Hulk guy finally just can't take it anymore. He's TKO'd from being knocked down so many times.
Yeah, no, I don't blame him.
But we were watching that. Now, would I watch that over the XFL? Yes, on my phone. I would be watching it and checking the XFL out because that's some serious action. But no, I would not be watching a lot of other things over it just because I really like football, and I'm really interested to hear y'all's 10 list y'all got here in just a little bit. I'm hoping they're as funny as your dad getting yelled at by a lady in the restaurant because she was so pissed off that he was doing his radio show so loud that she couldn't talk to the other lady she was with at Bubby's Diner.
Well, she should try living with him because I wake up to that man almost every morning of him doing ad spots and just interviews, and I'm like, "What, man? It's 7 o'clock."
I gotta get unleashed in the morning.
He does. That is true. He does. But yeah, hopefully our lists will appease you at least, Brandon. But it's good stuff. Do you have a favorite team in the XFL yet, or are you still waiting on that?
No, I'm Battlehawks. I'm a McCarron guy.
Yeah. I
love what he did last week. I loved what it meant to him. I didn't really have a team, and then when I saw him do what he did, I was like, okay. I am fully invested in this now.
Did you, by chance, watch the last night's game against the Sea Dragons?
I tried to watch as much of it as I could. I caught about half of the second quarter. We're working on a huge real estate deal, and I was on 15 different phone calls and trying to email at the same time.
I got you.
And just could not concentrate my attention to where I needed it to be.
I got to admit, it's probably the best game that has been played in that league so far. Pretty close to the last Battlehawks game that we watched, but definitely check out the highlights of that game whenever you get a chance because A.J. McCarron is just, honestly, he's pretty good. He's a pretty good football player, I will say. He didn't lose it after being out of the NFL for as long as he did. But, Brandon, that's all we got for you, so we're going to hop into these cool lists and the rest of the show. Thanks for calling.
Roll Tide.
Roll Tide. Good stuff right there. Love whenever he calls in. It's good stuff. All right. I wanted to bring this up because I didn't get to bring it up at the beginning of the show. But Ole Miss head coach Kermit Davis, he's out. See ya. I mean, we knew it was kind of coming. He's been there for 5 years, and he's only made the tournament once. And for an SEC team now, it's a little bit different, okay? You're held to a bigger standard now that there's teams, that are starting off the season where they are, okay? Obviously, we talked very highly of the SEC at the beginning of the season. They've kind of slowly fallen out of that contention. But Tennessee is still, Alabama and Texas A&M are still in the top 25 and doing a lot of things. But it's sad to see Kermit Davis go because the main thing that I loved about him was I used to watch him coach for MTSU, and that team was spectacular. But
it does suck to see him go. But, I mean, look at where Ole Miss is at.
I know. It's bad. It's like, it's sad because it's like, yeah, you love to see, those underdog stories, but there's nothing going on right now for Ole Miss. They have not been that good. And they lost 9 of their last 10 games. So, like, that just shows, like, they were pretty fed up with it. But it's just sad to see because, again, he was such a storied man over at MTSU, just having a great time. He made the NCAA tournament 3 times with that team, and it's just like, it boggles me. It's like, well, I mean, I guess it's because he was in the Conference USA, the Sun Belt and stuff. It's a little bit easier there, but now you're playing in the SEC, and you're playing against all these other, highly recruited teams like Alabama, like Missouri. Well, I can't even really say Missouri. I'm not going to say Missouri. I'm going to say Vanderbilt, LSU sometimes. It's just...
I mean, Missouri's not sitting bad.
Yeah, no, and it's...
20-8.
That's the thing. All of these teams in the SEC are still going to be very difficult. I mean, we saw what South Carolina did to Alabama the other night, okay? Yeah. That almost went south very quick. Thankfully, we had a Brandon Miller on the team that was able to just do an amazing job of pretty much winning that game for that team altogether. But, I mean, the entire SEC is going to be a little bit more difficult than going into, the Conference USA or the Sun Belt and stuff.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It's sad to see him go, but it's got to happen sometimes. And, I mean, we'll look back on some good memories because, again, he did make the NCAA tournament once with this Ole Miss team, and he had 2 winning seasons, but out of all of it, it was kind of sad to see because he was such a highly praised coach coming in back in 2018, and now just to see how far he's fallen. Hopefully he can pick up where he left off at MTSU whenever he gets to a new school, because there's no doubt he's going to go. He's going to try and revive his career in basketball coaching, at some, smaller school. Maybe, hey, bring him over to UAH,
Why not?
Why not?
Well, I mean, we already got Coach Shulman.
I know. I'm like assistant coach, Maybe he can, work his way up to be the next Coach Shulman. That's what I'm saying right there. Either way. He could go to Troy or something.
Troy wouldn't be bad.
Troy wouldn't be bad. Everybody wants to see these Alabama schools kind of build up. But now I want to also get into this because I talked about it a little bit more at the beginning, all right? Bobby Wagner is out of L.A., all right? This man is an 8-time Pro Bowl winner, okay, or going to, or whatever you want to call it, okay? He's been to the Pro Bowl 8 times, all right? Yeah. He's 32 years old. He's got a little bit more career left, and he wants that Super Bowl title, all right?
All right.
He's only had it back when he was at Seattle. Not that bad, okay? Good for him. But now he wants to get back into it, and the teams that we're looking at right now that he could probably go to, but, maybe there's some drawbacks to it, it starts off with the Pittsburgh Steelers, okay? This is my first idea. If he goes to the Pittsburgh Steelers, I think he's going to help out a lot, all right? It's the first team that comes to mind, and they don't really need that much to make their already stacked defense just perfect because, first off, they're losing the former first-round pick, Devin Bush. Okay, he's on his way out, all right? He's going into free agency, see who could snag him. But, I mean, they also have T.J. Watt, Miles Jacks, and Alex Highsmith, okay? But the problem is, all right, they don't really need him. And also, they got to fill that cap space. I mean, they don't want to be paying, people that they don't genuinely need when the draft is coming up. This is the awkward point, okay? If a team doesn't pick you up, which it's still very soon after he's, parted ways with this team, but if a team doesn't pick you up in the next week, they're going to be eyes all on these draft picks, okay? They're going to be thinking solid on that draft picks. Another team that comes to mind is the Detroit Lions. Okay, this might be a more, desperate add-on to a team, okay? Because this team already, their offense really guided them through the last season. But their defense was right there, had some new talent in that squad as well, starting to kind of get that thing going a little bit. I think the Detroit Lions would be a better choice for him to go to, except for the thing is, I don't know if this team's going to be a Super Bowl contender either in the next 5 years, and we know Bobby Wagner's not going to be in the league for that long, okay?
In the next 5 years, though, could they be it?
I don't think they could. I think they're going to be a decent team. They might make it to the playoffs, but I mean...
They did steal a couple good wins in the regular season last year.
Yeah, but still. That's what I'm saying. They're right on the precipice of getting to a good team instead of a decent team, all right? A good team still goes to the playoffs. A good team does not go deep into the playoffs, though. You have to be a great team to be able to go deep into the playoffs. And being able to go into the playoffs and go deep year in and year out, like the Bills, like the Chiefs, like the, I don't know. The Bengals now also. They have turned into an elite team, being able to go far. Then there's the platinum status teams, which I would say probably the Chiefs are right there. I'd say the Bengals might be on that line, okay? The Bills are almost there, but I don't know what it is about them. I'm never sure if they're going to be there or not, but they have the team. They might need to just pick up a running back or something to really complete that offense. But either way, another team that comes to mind, a team that just went to the Super Bowl that would really need the defensive push because, first off, they're already a really good defensive team.
Okay.
The Philadelphia Eagles. Bring in a guy like Bobby Wagner, all right? He's going to help guide these guys a little bit more. And you know what? The Chiefs wouldn't be able to put 38 on you in the biggest game, all right?
Yeah, that might be true.
Might be true.
Bobby Wagner was on your team. That might not have happened.
Might not have happened. It's just the thought, though. But, again, cap space. They'd have to let go of a lot of their good players to open up that space to bring a guy like this in. Or he'd just have to really just cut his pay down. And, he's not going to want that stuff. He's not going to want that stuff. The Giants are also on the list. I would say the Giants would need this, but the Giants aren't going to the Super Bowl anytime soon. He wants a team that's going very quick, very soon. Eagles, Chiefs, obviously. Those are going to be the obvious ones, okay? Can he find room to be on those teams? He'd have to cut his pay. He'd have to hop on that team, maybe even be a second stringer in the beginning of the season. I don't know. I want to see Bobby Wagner succeed, all right? He tackled a dude that was streaking last season. That was hilarious. I became a huge fan of him after that.
I do remember that.
You do remember.
That was hilarious.
It's great.
Good times.
And then the other team, the final team, the team that might be most likely to pick him up would be the Bengals. Bengals, pretty good team already.
Need a little help on defense.
Make it elite. Be an elite defense. Get that Super Bowl. And get a dub. Cap space, still a problem. Maybe the Browns will pick him up. I don't know. The Browns always have a little bit of money left over, even though they get the lowest cap space in the NFL right now, one of the lowest at least. But that's totally fine. Okay, they're gonna rebuild. They're gonna be totally fine. That's just how it is. All right, now I want to get into my list. By the way, if you guys have any or destinations you think that Bobby Wagner might head to, 256-576-4977, give us the reasons why, and we'll talk about that a little bit. But I'm gonna hop into my list, and I told you guys it was about NASCAR because guys, NASCAR just started, and you know what? It's as electric as ever before. All right? It was very fun to watch the Daytona 500, and it came down to some crazy racing at the end. But it wasn't the best finish. That's okay, because you can make the best finish happen in these games. That's right, we're talking about the best NASCAR games, according to GameRanks. So take what you will out of that one. All right, so let's hop into it. Number 11 is NASCAR 21 Ignition. Bandi, do you play any NASCAR games?
I've never played a NASCAR.
You've never played a NASCAR game?
I've never played a NASCAR
What the heck are you doing?
I don't play racing games.
I'm not going to spend a very long time on this game, okay?
I've still been trying to download Hot Wheels.
Oh, dude, Hot Wheels is so fun. Plus, it's on Game Pass now, and you get everything.
And now I need to play Atomic Heart.
I mean, you could wait for Atomic Heart. You could wait for Hot Wheels. Either one. You got to just have it in your queue, okay? You got to be ready for it. Now, the problem I have with these new games, even this Ignition 2021 game, is the crashing is not the best. But you know what? They did a little bit better in this one. It was the speed. They made you actually feel like you were actually, going fast. The thing is, though, cars still feel a little bit cartoony. Not the best physics overall. But let's move on because we got NASCAR Heat Evolution. This is a weird time, okay? This is a weird time for NASCAR games, Bandi. I started playing NASCAR again back in 2011, which was a great time, still awkward, but it was a good comeback to the game. But this is like deep into the NASCAR revival pretty much. And this one, it did not seem too different from the others. I think it's better than like Heat 2, Heat 3, and all those ones. But this one is still kind of lacking in the graphics department because it's not made by some, AAA company. And it just, again, it wasn't the funnest to drive in. And the online was just all over the place. But still, it was a little bit better. But right now, it's like $10 on Steam. So if you want to try it out, Bandi, now's your chance. Now I want to go to some of the games that I really loved. And this was the last game by EA, all right? This is NASCAR 09. Oh, I love this freaking game, dude. Bandi, I can't tell you how much I love it. This is after the transition to the newer style of cars, so I was like super hyped up about it, okay? They started doing this new stuff back in like 2008. The graphics were amazing, and honestly, it looked better than all of the games that have come out recently, which is insane to think about, okay? This game, just the customization, all of the stuff that EA used to put into NASCAR was amazing. The thing I didn't like about it was you could not do split screen, and that was the worst. Split screen was the only thing I liked, okay? I loved playing some split screen with my brothers. I couldn't do any of that stuff, and that was a big problem here. Graphics were amazing. I had a bunch of the OG drivers. Super good game. NASCAR Heat 4 is next. Guys, if you haven't played any of the newer games, it's totally fine because they're pretty much all the same. So NASCAR Heat 4 added in a little bit of the stock car racing. You get the Supra, you get the new Camaro and all that stuff. It's a fun one. Again, it doesn't really hold a candle to NASCAR 09 though, so I don't know why they wanted to put it up here. But you might know a little bit about this one because it's Daytona USA number 7.
I do know about Daytona.
Tell me a little bit about it because I've only played it like once or twice in my entire life, and I feel like that is a travesty on my part.
That's a good art. Just like what I say it's the first. Do I know if it's the first one? I don't know if it's like the first arcade racer, but
I don't know.
It was one of the first ones I know, like
for NASCAR maybe.
Ported to home consoles, I know.
Yeah, no, this one.
And that got just the very solid gameplay and that icon, Daytona. Like,
I know, just it comes across the screen. You're like in a bomb house, or no, you're not in a bomb house. You're in a Dave and Buster's, and you see it just there, and you're like, that's the game I want to play.
It's great.
And also, This car, it was a fighter in a game. Bandi, what game was it a fighter in? This was the game when it was fighting in, what game was it? Do you remember?
Fighters Mega Mix.
Yeah, Fighters Mega Mix. This was a playable character, and it was one of the weirdest to playable characters. But then it came to Xbox Live Arcade, and you could also get it through PlayStation Network. And golly, guys, was this a fun one, all right? I'm sad that I only got to play it a few times in the arcade because that's the genuine experience you want to experience. Oh, my gosh. But either way, it's very fun, very interesting concept for a NASCAR game. Now, this one I haven't played because I don't play PC, iRacing. Yes, this is where everybody went to during COVID. This is where the entire NASCAR league went during COVID and stuff like that. We got to see some crazy things go on with all of NASCAR. And let me tell you, it was fun to watch, but I personally have never played it. I know it's the real racing sim, all right? But I never liked the graphics. I don't know. I never thought the graphics were real. Unless you have like 17,000 mods on it, it always looked a little dull to me. And I never understood why they didn't just play NASCAR. But they did, so it's totally fine. NASCAR 06 Total Team Control is at number 5.
That was the title.
Prime time NASCAR, Bandi. Wow. This game was pretty much the exact same game that went to the PSP that was NASCAR. It was just called NASCAR, all right? Now, this game brought out a new feature that the game was highlighting, which is the team play, all right? You're able to kind of adjust people. You're able to drive behind people. You're able to see the teammates in front of you. You're able to make rivals. All of this was so fun because whenever you bumped into somebody, their icon goes red and they want to freaking kill you. They want to crash you. They get really aggressive. The graphics, still pretty good. For being 2006 on the Xbox, this thing was prime, all right? It looked like a fresh dish that was just placed onto your table and you're about to eat it up, okay? Wonderful mechanics. Getting in accidents was amazing back then because the physics, the crash physics, the damage, all of that stuff was so realistic and you could literally pop a tire and you could see every inch of it being popped.
Oh my god.
It was spectacular. Now, this next one is not a NASCAR game whatsoever, all right? But it do be Gran Turismo 5. And as we know, Gran Turismo is a PlayStation exclusive type game, known for its amazing graphics and humongous catalog of cars all across the world. Let me cough real quick. That was a tough one right there. This game, whenever they added NASCAR to it in a DLC, I cannot tell you how excited I was for this game that I could never even play because I did not have a PlayStation. I looked up videos on this. I saved videos on my PlayStation Portable about the building and the making of this game because the graphics, Bandi, one of the best graphical games I've seen for NASCAR. And you know what? It's not even made by NASCAR. It's because it's made by a AAA studio. It looks so real. Bandi, I'll show you this picture. Do you think that's real or do you think that's fake? What do you think?
That does look pretty good.
It looks pretty good, and that's from afar. I was looking at it earlier, and I was like, oh, okay, that's fake. That's not real. Okay, that's not real. But still, Jimmy Johnson looked better than ever, guys. And you know what? The graphics were amazing. The crashing, maybe not the best. It's still, Gran Turismo. I don't even think there was any accidents in it. But everything else looked amazing. And there were different camera angles that really just brought out the NASCAR. But it was taken away from some other stuff. NASCAR Dirt to Daytona. This one was, I believe, the first one that added dirt racing into NASCAR. Okay? This one came out quite a bit ago. I think it was it 2002? It might have been a little bit earlier than that. There's so many different types of NASCAR games that came out back then. Okay? People loved them, though. All right? But the new gimmicks in this one were pretty spectacular because sometimes all it takes is just a solid NASCAR racing game such as NASCAR Dirt to Daytona. And this was that game, okay? It starts out a little bit different with some small town tracks with cars or trucks as you build up your reputation. But soon after, you'll eventually get within the NASCAR championships where you'll begin working to earn your keep. I love seeing the old logos, the companies that don't even exist on these games because they had them all, guys. If you want to jump back to 2004, these are the games played. Speak of the devil, NASCAR Thunder 2004. Why don't we get names like this? I know NASCAR Heat sounds cool, but NASCAR Thunder? That's exactly what you get in this game because those cars were loud, they drove fast, and you know what? You could be Jeff Gordon driving up against a unlocked Dale Earnhardt. Yes. You could still get Dale Earnhardt in these games, and it made me so happy. Either way, this game, I don't know too much about it, but I remember it being very loud, very aggressive, and very in your face. So it was very fun. Now, this one's number 1, okay?
Okay.
NASCAR Racing 4. Now, if you guys don't know, I don't think that these games were named that on other consoles. NASCAR 2001 was pretty much what this was, okay? And this game was one of those games that really made people feel like they were in race cars. If you played on the N64 with NASCAR 2002 even, the graphics were crap. But this on PlayStation, PC, all of that stuff, it still today gets people playing on it and like putting out YouTube videos. And you know what? It included 43 cars, something that the new games couldn't even do because they couldn't even get all the license to all the different brands, Bandi. Ouch. Oh my gosh. There were car manufacturers, something that wasn't previously in the game because they couldn't get the manufacturers. We got Mountain Dew, we got Greyhound, we got Starburst, we got all of these OG brands really going down. And you know what? It had all of the different racetracks as well. And I know that's not saying too much because we see that now. But back then, this was spectacular and this was new and people loved it.
Yeah, this is 2001.
It was a push forward. This game, if you ever played on the N64, which I did a lot with the NASCAR, I think it was 1999 and 2002, those games looked like pixelated crap.
Yeah, I mean, as much as I hate to say it, go back and look at what the original Crash trilogy looked like.
I know.
When it released back in those days.
They didn't look too good. But this game was finally like,
aged.
yeah, this game back in the day, you look at it, I remember looking at this and being like, this is real life. This is amazing. I remember NASCAR Heat, I think it was the OG NASCAR Heat 2002. That one was also a very fun one. I wanted to throw that one in there because I remember sitting with my brothers on the Xbox original and trying to type in all of the cheat codes because you could get like big wheels, you could get small cars, you could get monster truck stuff. It was awesome. It was a great time to be alive. But that's the list, guys. If you agree with it, let us know. If you don't, what was your favorite NASCAR game growing up or even now? Because honestly, I'm trying to get back into it, and I don't know which one to get because there's so many of them. Either way, we're going to hop into a break, guys. When we come back, the play-by-play with the Bandi Man. So don't go anywhere because you're listening to the Afternoon Blitz.
The Blitz has been called.
To fasten your seatbelt, insert the metal fittings and tighten the strap. And in the event of a sudden rush of cabin generosity, your seat cushion can be used to grant wishes. How? By donating your airline miles to Make-A-Wish. Why? Because your frequent flyer account is stuffed as fat as your carry-on. And just like the workout clothes you packed, you're never going to use all those miles. But if you donate some to Make-A-Wish, you can give wishes wings and put sick kids right where you're sitting now. No, not in seats to Newark. Seats to fun family places, breaks from treatments and doctor visits and hospital stays, wishes to feel better, and lots of times get better too. Push your call buttons if you feel me. Alrighty then, well, once we reach cruising altitude, you can use your electronic device to make your pledge of miles or money to Make-A-Wish at givewisheswings.org. That's givewisheswings.org. And then move about the cabin with pride, knowing that you've made a huge difference in the life of a Make-A-Wish kid, because wishes work wonders, people.
Football season is here, and it's time to score big and get in on the action with MyBookie.ag. MyBookie is an industry-leading website and the best place for you to cash in on all the insane last-minute drives, huge upsets, and heart-pounding finishes. Join now, and MyBookie will match your deposit with up to a 100% bonus. They have in-game live betting on nearly every sporting event, plus a user-friendly mobile site so you never miss a single play. Are you sick and tired of getting the runaround when you ask for a payout? Come join MyBookie today. With decades of expertise, no hassle payouts, and no fine print, you'll experience the greatest customer service in the business, guaranteed. Use promo code RADIO to activate your bonus of up to 100%. Call 844-900-2387 or visit mybookie.ag to open an account. That's 844-900-BETS or go online to mybookie.ag and use promo code RADIO. Win with the best only at MyBookie. Sign up today.
Every day, the men and women of the United States Marine Corps demonstrate their commitment to defend the American way of life. Since 1775, we have served our nation as a force in readiness. From combat operations to humanitarian assistance in every corner of the world. No matter where the mission takes us today, or wherever our country needs us tomorrow, we always remember the land we call home. As Marines, we take a stand for each other, for our nation, for us all. The few, the proud, the Marines.
Hi, you can't see me because of radio, and I can't see you because I'm totally blind. My blindness doesn't hold me back, but I fight to stay awake during the day because I'm not sleeping through the night. Often I struggle to concentrate and just keep up. Sound familiar? You're not alone. But this is not a sleep disorder. It's actually non-24. Learn about the link between total blindness and your symptoms. Visit learnmorenon24.com or call 855-856-2424.
Sponsored by Vanda Pharmaceuticals.
When I chose a garage door company, I did my homework. I needed Precision Overhead Garage Door Service. They have a 5-star Google rating. I checked the reviews and liked what their customers had to say. Precision Overhead Garage Door has lifetime warranty packages. Same-day service if I call before 2 p.m. If they can't make it the same day, my service call fee the next day is waived. They did a 25-point safety inspection on the door and operator. Now that's peace of mind. Residential, commercial, and gate services. Precision Overhead Garage Door Service. Call 256-400-4500.
This is Wes Neighbors with Philip with Eagle Insulation, and we have an announcement to make.
Yes, Wes, we are now Eagle Masonry and Insulation. Still a place to call for your installation needs, but now we offer masonry services.
What kind of masonry projects can you handle?
Wes, no job is too big, no job is too small. We can do renovations, new construction, outdoor fireplaces, fire pits, brick landscape borders.
Well, when you came out to my house, you did both the insulation and masonry at the same time. You guys did rock for me, you did brick for me, and you insulated my house. That's usually done at the same time that you're building a house.
Absolutely. It really capitalizes on two services you need at the same time, and you can get one company to handle both of those.
Philip with Eagle Insulation will come out, do your installation. He'll do your masonry. They do a great job. They guarantee your work. Check out more online at insulatedwitheagle.com and schedule your free examination today. 256-755-1556.
Thanks, Wes.
Hello, listeners. I want to tell you a little bit about Minuteman Press and what we have to offer our community. We specialize in paper printing and can help from designing your piece to the finished product. We print media guides for many of the athletic departments at high schools and universities around the area. We typically purchase sponsorships from these schools as well, try and help them with their fundraising. Once we have reached our new normal, we also print all types of marketing materials for you to hand out either in person, via mail, or at various trade shows and events. At Minuteman Press, we're not just putting ink on paper, we're building relationships.
Here's Bobby White from Woody Anderson Ford on their service department.
President's Award winner 2 years in a row. That's only given to the top 10% of Ford dealers in customer satisfaction. So we're very proud of the service department. And our body shop. If you happen to get into an accident, which not a lot of people just want to go down and see a body shop. If you get into an accident, award-winning body shop. We have state-of-the-art paint booths back there. They're waterborne paints that we use, friendly for the environment. We've got our production system, the way things are in and out. We have the fastest cycle rate in town of getting your vehicle in, getting your vehicle out, and assured that it's fixed right. We take pictures before it's wrecked, and not only after, but we take it as we're putting the parts on. All done to above industry standards. So I'm proud of our body shop too. Don't forget our parts department. So you don't have to need parts, performance parts, or just parts if you're a weekend mechanic.
Woody Anderson Ford, located at the corner of Jordan and Sparkman, as well as Hughes Road and Madison. You can also check out the great deals at WoodyAndersonFord.com.
The new Cheeseburger Bobby's on Carl T. Jones Drive in South Huntsville is focused on serving great food prepared with the absolute freshest ingredients, featuring classic hamburgers and cheeseburgers with lots of specialty options, chicken and hot dogs, even turkey burgers and veggie burgers, along with fresh cut fries, onion rings, or coleslaw. Always fresh, never frozen, except for the frozen custard. See all the delicious options at Cheeseburger Bobby's for yourself. Check out the menu and more at cheeseburgerbobbies.com. The Blitz has been called.
Here on the Tennessee Valley Blitz Sports Network, I'm the Bandy Man, Bailey Lowry, joined across the glass by Captain Cool John Abraham.
Oh!
What was that?
Sorry, I fell.
Wait, what?
Nothing. What's up, guys?
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
But this hour is brought to you by Woody Anderson Ford, the best place
To find the best vehicles.
for the best prices.
That's right, guys. Drive home in a brand new Ford Bronco. You know how the kids used to do it in the Jeeps back in the day? Well, you can do it today in the brand new Outer Banks Ford Bronco. Or you can also drive home in a Mustang, super fast, super nice. Or if you're into trucks, why not go off road in the F-150, the Maverick, or the Ranger? There's a plethora of nice ones for you guys. So go and head on down to Woody Anderson Ford and talk with Bobby White and his crew, and they will take care of you guys lickety-split.
Do it.
I don't know why I love that word so much, but it works it's so well with everything. But make sure you guys find out more at WoodyAndersonFord.com. They have a lot of used vehicles as well. And Bandy, I'm gonna say it before you say it. Your next words are exactly.
Yes, sir. But we got some good video game news in the world today, as well as my own top 10 list.
Sweet.
So let's get right into it with the E play-by-play.
Time to catch up on esports with Play-by-Play with the Bandy Man.
All right, let's go ahead and slow down a little bit because League of Legends players are having a little bit of an issue.
What's going on?
Well, they implemented an update that kind of changed the chatting feature. So you can now like party chat with people you party up with before the game. You can do all that now. That's like its whole separate channel.
Yeah.
But right now, players are getting confused about which messages are being sent by who. And they're asking for a color coordination.
Okay.
Like, hey, this is getting annoying. I'm trying to see who's all chatting, who on the enemy team is talking smack to me, and who's talking smack to me among my friends.
Gotcha.
Because pretty much everyone who plays League is toxic, myself included.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, why not? If you're sitting in front of a screen for 44 minutes, you're going to get a pretty toxic in-between games.
It gets tough. 45-minute losses are never fun.
Whew.
Yeah.
Couldn't do it.
God forbid these streamers who put hours and hours into ranked.
They must love that game, though. I don't know really what the appeal is.
I don't think they do.
Why do they play it then? What's the point? I mean, I get it, okay? Sometimes I'm playing Call of Duty and I play it for so long that it gets to the point where I'm just like, I just got to finish it. I just got to grind it out. But in League, yeah, I mean, if you're playing through ranked, you're trying to get those high ranks. But you know what? Sometimes you just got to sit back and think, is it worth it?
I mean, sometimes it's not.
It's not worth it unless you're playing professionally.
It's like one of those things that's like, hey, do you like, are you a fan of League of Legends? No, I hate it. I play it every day.
It's crazy stuff.
It's like, hey, are you a Tennessee Titans fans? No, I hate that team.
But
Go Titans.
I just saw you at the Titans game the other day.
Go. It's like, yeah, I'm a fan. But you just said that you hate the team. Exactly.
I hate them. I could
it's a love-hate relationship.
I can personally say that I've never hated the Browns in my life, okay?
You've never had a moment where you just hated the Browns.
And there's been times when I'm like, I'm done with this team. But
Yeah.
that's not, I never hate them. I'm never like, dang it, I hate this team. Like, I've never gone like that. I've never gone like that, okay? Now, my brothers, on the other hand, they show their unloyalty because they say, I'm going to be a Raiders fan. I'm going to be a Panthers fan. I'm going to be what? Like, I'm just sitting there like, what do you mean? You can't do that. You know you're not going to be able to. You are stuck to this team for the rest of your life. You're going to be like Tom waiting for them to get a Super Bowl, but it's probably not going to happen. And you know what? I'm going to have to live on the legacy to finally see that the Browns win the Super Bowl. And then when I die, I'm going to go up to heaven and I'm going to have to tell them myself. That's what I worry about in my sleep. I'm like, I look at my dad after the Browns are not doing too good. I'm just like, damn, I don't know if this guy's going to see them win the Super Bowl.
It's going to be bad. It's like you're up there with them. It's like, did they finally win one, son? We're still waiting, Dad.
It's like,
we're still waiting.
I wouldn't say it that calm. I'd be like, damn it, why'd you bring me into this life? The Browns took me out of it. Thanks.
Have we had any luck up here?
No, Dad. We drafted Will Levis. And then we traded him for Anthony Richardson.
Oh, God.
It gets even worse because Johnny Manziel makes a comeback.
He made a comeback from the fan football league.
Oh, my goodness.
But in honor of Mortal Kombat 12 being unofficially announced, Because, I mean, hey, an earnings call got leaked that Mortal Kombat 12 is going to be a part of that, and it's coming this year.
Oh, sweet.
But we have not heard anything official, but it's pretty much the worst kept secret in the entire industry right now. But, and he's already pretty much confirmed in a tweet that, Mortal Kombat 12 is the next game.
Yeah.
We knew it was the next one. We just didn't know when. But apparently now we do know when. This year.
I'm glad it's the next one because I don't know why they would skip to Mortal Kombat 13.
Well, yeah. I was thinking they were going to do Injustice 3.
Oh, yeah. I forgot that they did that stuff.
But then again, do I really want another game where the screens are, twice as big as any Mortal Kombat stage and zoning is, the main way to win?
I gotta be honest. I don't like Injustice too much.
Not particularly.
No, the only time I ever played it was on my PS Vita, and let me tell you, the controls were ball.
They were not good?
They were ball. I'm not going to say the full, but they were ball, Bandi.
All right, I got to get into my list.
Do it.
Top 10 weirdest fighting games.
Ooh, what do we got? I'm going to have my browser ready to look up some of these games.
Because this is from Game Rant, and I want to see if this is also valid or not, because I played a handful of these.
The NASCAR one, I got to say, guys, was not fully valid. I would have had NASCAR 2011 on there somewhere, because that revival was lit. Bandi, go.
Number 10, Fighting Lair. We have a new game out called Fighting EX Lair, made by the same people. Not the same game, though. Okay. Fighting Lair, pretty standard 2D fighting game. I guess the weird part comes in is that one of the bosses that you fight in the story mode is a shark.
Yeah.
That's immune to low attacks.
I can write that down.
It's a little weird. Number 9, Power Instinct Matra Melee. I've never played this. I've never heard of this. But apparently the story is that you're fighting to get married.
I like that concept. That's a funny concept.
It's like one of those royalty stories. You know, it's like, win this tournament, you win the hand of my daughter.
Yeah, of course.
One of those cliches.
Yeah.
But I've never heard of it, and apparently there's let's see, games like stages with TV showing QTEs for bonuses, or a referee the players can call in to take a hit or throw at their opponent.
What?
Okay, that sounds hilarious.
All right.
Number 8, Red Earth. A little bit of a weird one. This is in the Capcom fighting game collection, actually, that just came out, and it's an RPG fighting game. And that you go against 4 unplayable bosses, and there's only 4 characters in the entire game. But as you play through, you level up their abilities and change their kits. It was very ambitious for the time it came out, because this was before Street Fighter 3 and the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure game that Capcom made.
Yeah, this one's all I see is this weird dinosaur with little wings.
Yeah, I'd say it's a little underrated, but maybe a little too ahead of its time.
Yeah, okay.
It didn't really catch on.
Yeah.
Number 7, Jackie Chan and Fists of Fire.
This one looks like that.
This was a promotion for one of Jackie Chan's upcoming movies way back in 1995. And this is just one of the stupidest fighting games I've ever seen. And that there are 3 versions of Jackie Chan, all of which you cannot kill because this game had Mortal Kombat-like fatalities.
Oh.
For some reason.
Okay.
And just because it could. But you cannot kill the versions of Jackie Chan because, again, he's behind the game. You're not going to kill off the title character.
No, you can't do that. I feel like this game probably took a few things, actually, a few more things than just the finishers from Mortal Kombat, because it even looks like the health bars are from the older games.
Same kind of sprite work, too.
Yeah, it really is. The blue girl with a staff or a stick. I don't know.
Number 6, Clay Fighter.
Yes!
Clay Fighter is actually very underrated.
This is amazing. What is the guy's name? Blue Man Chu? You can play as Elvis, guys.
Yes.
Yes.
And I like its style a lot because all the animations, it all looks like it's stop motion animated.
Yeah.
It looks really cool. But I don't know if it really caught on. I don't know how competitively viable it is. But Clay Fighter is just a good time.
Competitively, I don't know if it's competitive at all. Okay, when it comes down to just having a fun time and being able to play, against clay figures, this is the game to do it. Also, my buddy Macho did a video over this, and it was showing the mirror matches that go on in video games, and he was talking about this one and Blue Man Goo. What's his name exactly? It's the Elvis guy.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about, but I forgot his name.
I don't exactly know. It's hilarious, though. He's like, hey, mama.
Excuse me. But number 5, Dream Mix TV World Fighters. This only came out in Japan, and this was their effective version of their version of Smash Bros.
Do you see the dome in the background?
I do.
The rock? With the face?
Yeah, the Easter Egg Island.
Yes! The dome.
Did I just say Easter Egg Island?
Yeah, Easter Egg Island. That's exactly what this game is, though, because this is just like if you ran up to somebody and they yelled at you just Japanese words, because this is exactly. They got Metal Gear Solid. They got Transformers, guys. They got the Easter Egg Island people. They got baseball boys throwing stuff, and then they got a lot of other Japanese-inspired characters that I have no idea who they are.
Number 4, Super Gym Fighter Mini Mix in the Capcom Fighting Collection as well. Really cool, and that was kind of like it was like you had all the characters from Capcom games, but they also like cosplayed to different stuff. Like you would have them transforming into different costumes and characters.
I like that.
A lot of references, a lot of really weird stuff going on. I need to fly through these.
Before you fly through them, this is what I wanted the new Street Fighter mobile game to look like. I wanted the chibi version of them fighting, but turns out it's not going to be, and I'm set.
It is not. Number 3, Fighters Megamix. We talked about this earlier. You can find the Daytona car, an inflatable bear, and many more, including a palm tree from the Sega AM2 logo.
It comes full circle, Bandi. It comes full circle.
Waku Waku 7. All you need to know about this game is that it had a giant boss enemy that one of his moves, it would poop you out. Number 1, Don Dong Never Die.
Okay.
Have you ever heard of this game?
No, I feel like you have because you live in that fighting community. You had to know what this game is.
This is one of the funniest games ever made.
Is it really like is it a licensed game or is it not? Is it just a mod?
No, it's just a fan-made game, but it's just pretty much like if a fighting game parody was turned into a fighting game. Like it's just full of stupid characters. Like the main character is named Don Dong.
Mm-hmm.
And he has a dark equivalent name, Violent Dong Dong.
Is this the red-haired guy?
Yes.
Okay, so it's literally...
This is the red-haired guy.
It's just a man in this game who's real. He's realistic. He's literally just pictures of him, and he's got red hair. And he has no shirt on.
It is the dumbest thing in the world, and that it plays like King of Fighters. It's a parody of every fighting game under the sun, and it has Mario in it.
Yeah.
Just Nintendo's Mario. Like, they didn't even try to, like...
hide it or anything.
Yeah, like, style him differently, like, make it like a parody version. No, it's just Mario.
How many lawsuits did these guys get for this?
None.
Nintendo's usually very strict about that. I'm surprised.
It's made in China.
Oh. Well.
You think Nintendo's even going to mess with China?
They can't find China. It's very tough. It's a big place.
But either way, I mean, they take, like, the sprite work from, like, Mortal Kombat, like, how they would do, like, real people and sprites. You just have Mario in there for some reason, and a red stickman.
Yeah, the thing that makes it look weird, okay, it worked whenever you tried to do the sprites with, like, the realistic humans, you know, back in the day. But this is, like, HD pictures of this guy, like, actually, like, doing stuff, and it just looks weird. It looks like an old YouTube video.
Now, see, you're only looking at a picture of it. I during the break that we're coming up on here pretty soon, I need to show you gameplay of this. It is fantastic.
It looks weird.
But, like I said, we're hopping into a break. When we come back, we're going to wrap up the show, wrap up the week. So do not go anywhere. You're listening to the Afternoon Blitz.
The Blitz has been called.
This is Wes Neighbors with Philip with Eagle Insulation, and we have an announcement to make.
Yes, Wes, we are now Eagle Masonry and Insulation. Still a place to call for your installation needs, but now we offer masonry services.
What kind of masonry projects can you handle?
Wes, no job is too big, no job is too small. We can do renovations, new construction, outdoor fireplaces, fire pits, brick landscape borders.
Well, when you came out to my house, you did both the insulation and masonry at the same time. You guys did rock for me, you did brick for me, and you insulated my house. That's usually done at the same time that you're building a house.
Absolutely. It really capitalizes on two services you need at the same time, and you can get one company to handle both of those.
Philip with Eagle Insulation will come out, do your installation. He'll do your masonry. They do a great job. They guarantee your work. Check out more online at insulatedwitheagle.com and schedule your free examination today. 256-755-1556.
Thanks, Wes.
The new Cheeseburger Bobby's on Carl T. Jones Drive in South Huntsville is focused on serving great food prepared with the absolute freshest ingredients, featuring classic hamburgers and cheeseburgers with lots of specialty options, chicken and hot dogs, even turkey burgers and veggie burgers, along with fresh cut fries, onion rings, or coleslaw. Always fresh, never frozen, except for the frozen custard. This week, our zone deal is $50 worth of Cheeseburger Bobby's for half price, just $25. Get yours Friday at 97.7 ESPN.com.
The Stretch Zone, with 2 locations in the Tennessee Valley, will get you ready for whatever spring activities you have planned, from golf to tennis or just to increase your general activity. The Stretch Zone can get you limbered up to feel your best. Plus, you'll be taught the best stretches that you can do on your own in between visits to one of our 2 locations in Hampton Cove in Huntsville or on Balch Road in Madison. Visit StretchZone.com for more information. That's StretchZone.com and be the best of you. Learn more at StretchZone.com.
You've got to experience Toyotathon at Bill Penny Toyota. They've got the selection with over 700 new Toyotas to choose from. And they've got the extras with Bill Penny perks and a 10-year unlimited warranty. So get on over to Bill Penny Toyota today and experience Toyotathon. Bill Penny Toyota in Huntsville and online at BillPennyToyota.com. Bill Penny's Toyota 10-year unlimited warranty is valid through the 10th year of ownership. Valid on new vehicles only. See dealer for details.
TOC Sports has been there for you. Now, you're probably asking yourself, what does that mean? It means for more than 20 years, Alabama's largest orthopedic group has been there providing coverage and care to more schools and student athletes in the Tennessee Valley than any other group. It means whether you are the star football player, the all-region volleyball ace, or someone who hurt their knee in a weekend pickup basketball game, TOC Sports physicians are proud to have the opportunity to care for all your orthopedic needs. It means for parents, coaches, athletes, desk jockeys, or even weekend warriors, TOC Sports physicians continue to meet and exceed the orthopedic and sports medicine needs of our community. But most importantly, during these challenging times, we're here for you now and will continue to be here. So as long as there are players on the field, games to be played, and contests to be won, the orthopedic specialists from TOC Sports will be ready to help. We don't know what the future holds, but you can count on the TOC Sports team to stay committed to you so you can stay in the game. Call 256-539-2728 today and ask to see a TOC Sports physician. Check them out online, also Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Hey folks, this is Arthur Seat, Managing Partner of University Kia, letting you know we are proud supporters of Crimson Tide football. Stop in the University Kia today and shop our large selection of new Kias, including the all-new Telluride 8-passenger SUV, the stylish new K5, and sporty new Seltos. Visit universitykia.com for all our great offers. And get pre-approved in minutes so you can drive home your new Kia today. Because we want to see you in a Kia. Roll Tide!
The Blitz has been called.
Blitz Sports Radio Network. I'm the Bandi Man, Bailey Lowry, joined across the glass by Captain Cool John Abraham.
What's up, Bandi?
Yep.
I'm looking at this Fighting X Layer game, okay? And out of all of the games that you were talking about, this one honestly looks the most quality.
Oh, you're looking at Fighting EX Layer?
Yeah.
Oh, no, that's not the one I'm talking about.
Oh, you're talking about a different one.
It's just called Fighting Layer. It was the first one they made.
Well, why did they get so much backing for this one if the first one was weird? Because this looks like, I mean, the graphics in this look amazing.
Yeah, that one actually came out pretty recently.
Oh, yeah.
They did like a whole thing with it. I think even Terry from King of Fighters is in it. But no, in the first one you fight a shark.
What was it on?
Let's see. It was on. Oh, it just came out in arcades.
Huh. That's weird how they made it. Okay. Now I'm finally seeing it.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was an older one.
I mean, it still had a little bit of backing for the time period that it came out on, but the new one looks actually pretty cool. I might have to get it.
Yeah, it's not a bad game.
It feels like Tekken 3 and Street Fighter. That's what people say about it.
It's not a bad game. You just fight a shark.
I mean, to each their own, I guess. But, Bandi, what do you got going on this weekend?
This weekend, I mean, I kind of want to check out Atomic Heart.
Yeah, it's about time you do.
I was gonna check that out on Game Pass. Maybe a little Black Ops 3 Zombies.
Oh, okay.
Maybe throw it back a bit, you know?
I'm going to be watching some XFL, of course, because we got a few more games this weekend, and I'll probably be playing a few more video games. But I will say this week coming up for the XFL is going to look pretty entertaining because we got the San Antonio Brahmas going up against the Orlando Guardians. That one, we can make our picks real quick, Bandi, because I know you have no idea what's going on in the XFL, and I have a little bit. But the DC Defenders are also going to be at the Vegas Vipers. Just make your quick pick. Let's see. Can you beat me without knowing any knowledge of these teams? Could you beat me in these picks? That's what we're going to do.
Okay.
I'll put them down on the list, too.
Then I've honestly probably got the best chance.
All right, Bandi. I know you probably do. Okay, I'll put a B, and I'll put a J for mine. Okay, well,
all right.
What do you got?
Bob Jones?
Yeah, Bob Jones, yeah. Okay, so DC or Vegas?
DC.
Okay, you're saying DC. I'm going to go with DC. I got to go with DC on that one. DC does look like the better team. San Antonio versus the Orlando Guardians.
San Antonio.
I'm going with the Brahmas as well. All right, next one. Arlington Renegades versus the Houston Roughnecks. Who you got?
I'm going Houston.
Okay, I'll go the Renegades. We'll change it up a little bit. So I got the Roughnecks. Or you got the Roughnecks, I got the Renegades.
Yep.
All right. And the final one was already played. So we don't have to worry about it. So we got 3 games down. We got 3 games down. It's really just against 1 game. Either way, guys, thank you very much for joining us on this fun Friday. We had a great time hanging with you guys. So we hope you had a great time as well. But we're going to hop on out of here. Enjoy your weekend. We'll be back on Monday. Thank you very much for listening to the Afternoon Blitz.
Are you tired of chasing a roofing contractor to show up on time or even show up at all? I'm Sam Fleming with Fleming Roofing and Restoration.
Of Saturday Down South has his proposal, and for Alabama, he's got Auburn, Tennessee, and LSU.